All right, well, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week with Adam and Scott here on this cold.
We are freezing.
Hey, look, man, Adam said he wanted to go to Florida.
We need to move to Florida. Take the racetrack with us.
I brought a heater, but it ain't doing much. I can tell you that.
I'd hate to see what it would be without it. All right, let's thank our marketing partners. Let's thank GAC, Great American Company with Garamo Amaya. Papa John's, better pizza, or better ingredients, better pizza. Jack never gets tired of Papa John's pizza. Slinger Speed Company. If you want your local t-shirt shop, hit Tim Brown up. MPM Marketing with Tanya McAllister. I think Tanya, she's going to be helping us some with our custom driver suit this year. Bondert's Brothers Distillery. I think Robert Bondert, he's been with us for several years now. Langley Speedway. I thank Bill, Chuck, and Terry for allowing us to do the show from here. Pepsi, Mountain Dew's, mine and Jack's drink of choice. Luckily, they sponsor us.
Yeah.
Mosquito Joe, get 50% off on your first month of service on Hampton side of the road to Richmond, not on Chesapeake, Portsmouth, not on that side. Fast Eddie's Barbecue, we got hit. Think go Fast Eddie. Always and is going to be providing barbecue for
20 people.
20 people for our winter. Provided by what's the construction? What's this?
Paquette.
No.
C.E. Clark.
Yeah, C.E. Clark Construction. Okay. Factory Canopy is going to be providing a custom tent for our winter and chairs. Miles of Seamless Gutter for putting up the money. Can you believe they let us give away that much money?
No, I really don't.
For the second year in a row.
Let's see. Frontline Performance Fuels, race fuels. It's the hottest fuel at Langley Speedway. It may or may not pass tech, but it will win a championship.
Yeah, that's one
And
thing.
he ain't DQ'd.
No, it didn't get DQ'd on that.
Let's see. Paquette Power Solutions, especially this time of year, especially Jack down your way. These guys didn't have no electricity. It'd been nice to have a generator.
Yeah. A lot of them didn't have electricity down here.
Let's see, and that is it for us. So what you got? What's up, Eddie? What's up, Victor?
All right. Some news from this week. There's a lot of stuff going on, getting ready for the season to start, which is supposed to be this coming weekend. I really don't think we're going to see much at the Cookout Clash down in Winston-Salem this weekend.
Not unless they're going to get some snowmobile mode.
I don't think we're going to see a whole lot there, but I understand they plowed the snow plowed the racetrack today, and
so they're doing donuts out there trying to break up the ice in the infield.
It's unbelievable. Luke Fenhouse is going to be driving the Hettinger O'Reilly Series car in the number 5. Moving up from the truck series, going to be driving the O'Reilly car. Got a call today from Todd Davis, our factory canopies guy. He's going to be involved in helping Jake Bowman, who's going to be going full time in the Nitro Motorsports car, the old Venturini Motorsports. He's going to be in the 20 that was originally supposed to be Leland Honeyman. Now, Leland Honeyman is going to have to, I think he's going to be a part-time driver now.
Oh, really?
So they moved Bowman into his spot, and he's going to be a part-time driver. R&S Race Cars made their announcement about who's going to drive for them this year. Landon Wimbledon is going to drive. I think he's going to do the Virginia Triple Crown and the Cars Tour, or some Cars Tour, I should say. Trey Cruz is going to do the Cars Tour, and Sam Butler is going to do some local late model stock car stuff and odds and end Cars Tour races.
I know some
in Dodgers.
Yeah,
I was going to say, ain't that part of some of those drive for the seat?
Well,
Dodge program here.
Yeah, I guess it is.
He built all the late models.
Corey LaJoy is going to all of a sudden, he didn't have a ride. All of a sudden, he's got a ride. He's going to be driving Charlie Henderson's truck at Daytona, and I got in other events during the year. And he's also going to ride the 4th Daytona car for RFK
And
Racing.
driving for disaster for the clutch.
That's RFK.
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
you said.
Oh, yeah, he will be driving Keselowski's car. You're right. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. Corey Heim is going to do a part-time schedule with 2311 for Daytona
Mhm.
in the number 67, and he's going to have some other events during the year. Allie Owens is going to go full-time Menards East Racing, and she will be with us in week after next. She's going to come on the show and talk to us about that. So it's really going to be good.
After you get off your Eskimo cruise.
Yeah, that's the way it looks anyway. The Rockingham test was supposed to be going on this week. That's now been moved to February 3rd and 4th if it doesn't snow again. We'll see where that works out, but that's for the trucks in the O'Reilly series. Junior Motorsports has put it out who's going to be driving for them this year. Caden Quaffle is going to be in the 88 car this year, full time. Wyatt Miller is going to be in the 73 part-time. And Dale Jr. is going to do, I understand he's going to do like 5 or 6 races this year in the number 8 car. And Carson Brown will be driving for Lee Pulliam this year.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He's the Childress development driver, so he's going to be doing some cars tour racing with Lee Pulliam. And believe it or not, Haley Deegan is back. She's going to be in Winston. I mean, she's going to be in the Menards West Series. She's back. I mean,
By Bill McAnally, where she had
yeah,
some
going to be with
success.
Bill. Going to be with Bill McAnally, and we're also going to have Bill McAnally in a couple weeks too. So you may have him next week. It all depends on how his schedule goes. So you may have him next week. Also, want to congratulate everybody that got into the Hall of Fame this past weekend. Kurt Busch, Harry Gant, Ray Hendrick. The landmark award winner was Humpy Wheeler. I mean,
Yeah, what it deserved.
that was a no-brainer there. And the Squire Hall Award went to Deb Williams.
Yeah, just pretty cool.
So
Deb's been around a long time.
we've gotten to know her pretty good here in the last little bit. So that's really cool. I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. I still don't like the way this Hall of Fame thing is going.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
I don't like it. I don't like Ray Hendrick is deserving. I'll give Ray Hendrick, he is very
for sure.
deserving. Harry Gant is deserving. I think he's deserving to be there.
You're just a hater on
Harry Gant?
Kurt Busch.
Harry Gant. And then Kurt Busch. I don't see it. I don't see it. I tried to get Trent Owens to tell me he
wasn't biting.
Trent ain't gonna bite on that, but anyway, I don't see Kurt Busch. I mean, I know he's won a championship. I know he's won a Daytona 500. I know he's done a lot of great things. But there are other people in this sport.
Judy Dunlop.
Judy Dunlop is one.
He deserves. It's an injustice.
I think Tiger Thompson Stone. I mean,
You're going back.
here's a guy that they're not even talking about. I mean, I think that would be a good guy to go in. So I just don't see it. I don't see. There's a couple other guys I don't see that's in there that I don't see supposed to be in there either. But
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they waited so long to have a Hall of Fame, so there's so many people. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to take forever when you can only put 5 people a year in. I mean, I think they should have had a big one in the beginning and put a bunch of people in, and then, but where you draw a line, I mean, I don't.
Well, we know, and it's pretty deserving because he won in trucks and he won in what was in the Xfinity Series and everything, and he's won a bunch of Cup races. We know Greg Biffle is probably going to go next year. I mean, that's a no-brainer there to me, and I think it's deserved. But nobody's been around Kurt Busch like I had been around Kurt Busch. And, he and I talked at Charlotte this year when we were down there, and I just don't see it. People may hate me for what I say, and maybe I shouldn't say it out loud, but I did. So here it is.
I can start a fan club.
Bush fan club.
Okay,
Got some hate.
and we got a big race coming up on May 22nd. At Indianapolis. Gonna be a big race on May 22nd. It's the Wienermobile race. They're gonna have 2 Wienermobiles out there. They're gonna have a race.
Oscar Mayer.
6.
Is it 6?
It's 6.
He
The
said
whole
6.
track? Well, he knows his wieners.
I wasn't gonna go nowhere near that, but anyway.
They did it last year. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. One blew up.
So anyway, that's how it is. All right, we got a big show tonight, and one of the things that I'm most excited about is we've got somebody who has a long history here at Langley Speedway. So I think it's really cool to have him come on. So we're gonna get Wayne come on in here.
Sit here.
Yep, so right there.
All right. Thank you all for inviting me.
No, thanks for coming, Wayne.
We have to thank you for making the time and the effort to come out here. I mean, that's a big deal.
I think we got lucky because it's cold. He can't do nothing else. So he ain't have nothing else to do.
Well, Tuesday night, usually I'm at a place called The Garage. It's a men's ministry over in Smithfield. And if anybody out there would love to come, it's right there behind the donut shop on Church Street or Main Street. It's Church Street that goes down, and it's awesome. It's literally a garage. It's off the chain. It really is. Great people, good place for men to gather. Family night the first Tuesday of every month, and you have to walk in to see, and then you'll go, okay, I get it. I mean, there's no sheetrock on the wall. There's couches. It's a garage, and he's been doing it 17 years. 15 years. He's been saved 17 years. And Pastor Anthony Robinette, he's real. He's as real as they come. And that's what I usually do on Tuesday night. So.
All right, well, you've been around here for a long time, and
Long time.
we were discussing it before we got on the show. Tell us a little bit how you got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my dad won the first race ever here. They ran, I think it was modified sportsmen and hobbies, and he was in the hobby division, and they didn't have enough cars to put on a race, individual races, so they ran them all together, and he won the hobby part of it, and so he won the first race ever out here, and kind of been coming, all my life. My mom was right at 8 months pregnant in Chinese corners, and my dad went flipping end over end about 8 times, and from what I understand, I was almost born at the track when she come off the hood of the car, and everything. So I've just always been around cars, always been around racing, one form of another. Did a lot of drag racing, but always had my hand in here somehow, some way. Yeah.
Well, Mark Powell asked the question, how did you end up with Langley Speedway after the 94 season? I mean,
I had 258 auto parts, and that's a story in itself. And I knew that the lease was the agreement between Henry and Joe Badowski, was running out. And so I approached Henry, and we talked, and he'd come over to Junkyard and talk and everything. And we struck up a deal, and the rest is history. December 31st, 1994. He handed me the keys, and January 1st, 1995, we walked in and unfortunately found that the place had been sabotaged. Every light bulb had been taken out, every light switch had been unwired, outlets have been unwired, toilets have been broken, sinks been broken. I mean, they did a number. Somebody called the city and had the grandstands condemned, and the sky and the control tower condemned, and all kinds of other stuff. And I said, well, we got to show these people we're real. So Al Pierce, who was heavily involved, he says, man, you need to have an event. And after the event, we'll take up the guardrail, and because the first improvement was the concrete wall. So we looked and we said, all right, January 22nd, 23rd, whatever that Saturday was. I said, we're going to have an enduro. And we went to work. We worked day and night and got the grandstands up, got all the inspections done, fixed everything, got everything working as close as we could. And we had an event. We had over 100 enduro, packed house, everything. Took the first piece of guardrail up, and that was the start of it. And but that's how I ended up with it. That was in 1995, and really, really enjoyed my time here. I really did. We were blessed to be able to secure the funding to do a lot of improvements that you see today, and we had a lot of great shows. Used to do a lot of, I think, probably the first TV shows out here. We created our own TV series.
Yep.
And had ASA, had All Pro, Hooters back then. I mean, you name it, we did it. And we were just talking, before we came on air about how if you didn't get here early, you didn't get a seat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, literally. And we were blessed to be involved with sport at a very good time. And it was just amazing time. And
I know for a fact that, well, I don't know for a fact, but I know it's been said many times that you were the one who made a lot of the transition this place turned into what it is now. You started that transition to make it what it is.
we did.
Who helped you come up with those ideas for the stuff that you did back then?
I really kind of, the obvious was the guardrail first, and we had to line up to do the concrete wall, and because the old armor barrier was a little, unsafe,
Mhm.
and at times, and they then after that we got looking. In the agreement with Henry, we had to do a certain amount of improvements, certain dollar amount. And so we knew the grandstands was next. We constantly had made repairs to them and stuff. And even though they were safe, they were dangerous. And what I meant by that, there was no backboards, you could slide through, and people would try to climb up the back and all kinds of other stuff. So obviously grandstands was the next thing on the list. And during that time, I had visited down at Kinley, and I saw the sky boxes, and I said, those we can sell those. And so we hired the same company that did those to come up here and put up all these sky boxes and stuff. And the grandstands were the same people that put them up at Paul Sawyer hooked me up with them, the people that did them at RCR and all the NASCAR tracks and stuff. And that was a crew. They come out of New York. They literally worked in sleet and snow and rain and built them. Yeah. I mean, one of the guys, I'll never forget, he was a big Indian guy. And they would bring it in on a flat trailer, and we had phase 3 coming in already, electricity. And they were craning off the steel, and it jumped. It was misting, and it jumped from the phase 3 wires over to the piece of steel, and he was holding on to it, and it burnt his shoes, burnt his hair, burnt everything. They stuck him up in the Arrow Inn for 2 days, and the third day he was back out here working. Never been to the hospital or nothing. No, that was a man. And but we got all that done, and at the time we expanded the concession stands. We did our own concessions, and we did very well doing that. We used to try and make everything real affordable. People would call and say, can we bring coolers? And I said, you can bring all the coolers you want. I said, but you can't beat our prices. And they said, what do you mean? I said, I got $1 draft. They said, $1 draft? I said, yeah, we sell it was like a 20-ounce cup for $1. And we used to sell anywhere 14, 18, 20 kegs a night. Oh yeah. And we took, when I would go and get ready to each season, I would go over, there was a kitchen from like Cisco or whoever we were buying our food from. And they would cook everything up, let me try new items or old items and everything, and they'd set them up in front of me, and I'd walk over and start doing. They said, it's ready. I said, no, I want it to sit there for 10 minutes. Then I want to taste it. I said, because a lot of times we have to pre-make food, and it sit underneath the heat lamps and until a caution happens, and then we're shoving them out quick. We can't make it, They said, oh, okay. And so I judged the quality of the food, that way after it sat there for a little while. And then we had some stuff that we used to do that would really help. We had grills lined up behind the open grills. And if concessions were a little slow, you just throw some onions on them. That aroma, man, would make people hungry. Right on down here and start eating. And we had bologna burgers. We just had a lot of stuff that people like. I mean, like I said, we tried to make it affordable. That was the biggest thing.
What are some of the things you've seen here at Langley? And you also had Southside too.
Right.
So what are some of the things you see going on now that you would like to see some things be a little different?
Some are in the control. A lot of people talk about the expense of racing, and they want to blame manufacturers of the parts. They want to blame engine builders, car builders, whatever, team owners, race drivers. I blame the owners of the track, because you own the track, you make the rules, and if you enforce the rules, you just say, that's nice, but that's not running to my track because that's really expensive.
Right.
And we're trying to do something on an economic basis here. So a lot of the blame for the expense I see out here is I have to say it goes back to the track owners. My officials used to hate it. I'd get involved with every rules meeting, each year, and I would argue with them and tell them, no, we're not doing that. Well, why? When's the last time you worked on a race car? Never. Well, that's why, and I do, and that's going to cost people money, and it doesn't make any sense to do. So I would always try to first thing was safety, second thing was cost, and try to keep the cost down for the racers back then. A lot of people remember I did away with late model stock cars and created the late model sportsman and had the largest car count in the country that year, average car count. And matter of fact, we had a champion come out of here because of that. And it was all about cost. We were down to 7, 8 late models. Your purse is top heavy. So all my money was going to the 7 or 8, and it was still costing me the same, but I wasn't bringing in any money. I didn't have 20 cars, 30 cars bringing in, selling tires and fuel and pit passes and everything. So I had to make a change, and they all understood. I was very open. I said, here's the books, boys. Look at them. We met over in Dwight Shawback's office, and one night at John Brothers in Norfolk, and I just opened everything up, showed them, this is why I got to do this. And I said, here's the new rules. Here's what we're doing. And opening night, we had 27 cars. Yeah, opening night. Yeah. 27 or 37. I don't know, but I ended up, no, it was 37 because I ended up with 27 for the season. That was my average car count for that season. And so always, being on both sides of the fence gave me an advantage to understand what, and we to this day, we're not a high dollar team. We've got nice equipment. We run well, but it's hard work and smart spending, and but I can remember that there were times that we fell behind because of the spending, and we would just get outspent. And so I try to keep that in mind. And
the late model division, there is a lot of spending in that division.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable what they do, how much money they spend on these late models and stuff. What is your take on the limiteds when they come in here to Langley Speedway the past couple of years?
The limiteds have a great future as long as the owners control the cost. Going back to what I said just a few minutes ago, owners got to step up and be accountable for what goes on at their tracks, and just say, they come up, oh, we want this shock. No, this is a shock we run. We want this motor. No, this is a motor we run. We want this. No, this is what we run, guys. I already got a rule book. It's good for 10 years. As long as the parts available, this is what we're doing, and keep it there and enforce it. And it's a great class, late model. We built a brand new car. We didn't run last year. If you'd have told me what it was going to cost to build a brand new car, I probably wouldn't have built a brand new car. It's just, I heard the numbers, and until I did it, and luckily we did a lot of work ourselves. But if you go and just order a brand new car right now and get a builder to do it turnkey, in other words, you take him the motor and trans and the seat, and he furnishes everything else, you're looking at about $140,000. And that's not counting the motor and trans. So you add in another $30,000 for the motor and another $5,000 for the trans, you're up $175,000 for a late model stock car, and
Never when a cup car cost that.
oh, yeah, a couple of them, a couple of them. And so it's
way back in the day, cup
it's
car would cost.
out of hand. Is it fixable? No. You just, it's fixable. Just draw a line and say, okay, that's the car we used to run. This is the car we're going to start running. And so.
What do you think about, and this is a question from William Paramus. What is your thoughts about how South Boston is doing a loyalty program for the drivers and everything?
Well, their points program, loyalty program, kudos to the owners, marketing people and everything at South Boston. They went out, beat the streets, found the sponsors, and they gave the money to the competitors. They didn't keep any of the money. There's tracks out here that have you run sponsors on your car all season and you don't get anything for it. The track keeps the money, and I'm sorry, but that's just, that just doesn't flush in my world. And it's Chuck does a tremendous job selling out here. He does. And while we're talking about that, continue to pray for Chuck. He's still in his battle with what's going on in his life and everything. Talk to him every day. So we got to keep him. And another one, I'm talking about it, Basil.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Basil had an operation last Friday. He's doing great. Talked to him. And he just got a rest, but everything went smooth, just like it was supposed to. He's doing real good. But
What a character for the
he comes to the garage on Tuesday nights.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah, he's a
Oh,
regular.
that's why he can't come.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
tried to
he's-
get him a couple
Oh
times.
yeah, he's a regular man. And but Basil's good people. Good,
Yeah.
good. He's a good Christ follower. He's a believer. And it goes to show that just because you're saved and believe in Jesus, you can still have fun. Well, my pastor at Liberty, where I go, he says believers ought to have more fun going to heaven than sinners do going to hell. So there's a lot of truth to that. But back to it's going out and seeking the sponsors to support the divisions, get the money towards the divisions and everything else. Asking the tracks to just take the money out of the pocket and give it to you, that's just doesn't work. It's not good business. Mathematically, it doesn't work. It costs to operate a racetrack, the hidden cost that people don't know about. I mean, when I took it over in '95, there was a lot then, and there's twice as many now. But back then, I looked up the grandstand, this guy's got killing it, and then you get involved and you find out you got to pay a tax here, you got to pay a tax there. Insurance costs this much. This costs this much. This costs this much, and it's cost a lot of money with any business, but in the racetrack business, we used to have to pay a water drainage fee to the city out here. And I told him, I said, I got more dirt than anything else. The water don't drain, it sinks in the ground. I said, now I'm being charged the same thing Walmart is with their paved parking lot. Yeah. And I'm going, tell me how that makes sense. Mine goes in the ground. Theirs goes down the drain, and I have to pay the same tax. So there's a lot of hidden taxes. So we're glad that Bill has stepped up and has the track, but to think that they can just take the money out of their pocket and increase everything, it has to be from outside sources. And like I said, Chuck does a tremendous deal of selling all the races, skyboxes, and everything else. And just need a few more people to step up and sell some stuff around here and say, hey, I brought this sponsor to the track. They want to sponsor this division or that division. And they want the money to go to the drivers and everything.
I agree with that. That's the way it should be.
So what was the biggest challenge when you got into the racetrack business? What was some of the one, maybe something that was easier than you thought it was going to be, and something was like way harder than you thought it was going to be? I'm sure there was more way harder than.
Well, opening night.
Do you ever look back and say that really wasn't smart?
Well, I learned. Well, no, I learned a lot of stuff. I learned every week. But I used to have this thing that I wanted to please everybody. And opening night, I stood at the gate and told everybody, "Thank you for coming." And hey, there's one guy come by, and he was just unhappy, And we had great racing, great in the crowd, great everything. Everybody was like, see you next week. There was one guy, and believe it or not, I come up here after all lights were shut and everything, sit at the top of grandstands, and it just worried me sick. And finally, about Tuesday or Wednesday, I realized that would be my 1% rule. And everybody said, what's your 1% rule? I said, there's 1% of the people in this world that you just can't make happy.
Yeah.
You could get them to win numbers of the lottery, and they're going to complain about the taxes. You could give them a free house, they're going to complain about cutting the grass. So they're unhappy people. And so I had my 1% rule. People come up and complain, I just smile and say, you're right. And I'd walk off. And I realized the other 99% were happy. And so I did pretty good. That was one thing I had to get over. hard. I don't. I did really, other than the amount of hours that it dictated to be successful at it. I mean, average week was 70 hours. I mean, you know, staying late, adjusting lights, doing this, clean up, painting walls, all that other stuff, meetings, just everything. It was a tremendous amount, but no regrets. It was a very great time in my life, and if I had the opportunity to do it over again, I'd do it again.
Is there?
And you never know. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Do you have any highlights that, like, you know, kind of talking about you got me riding the plane, right?
Right.
Do you have any highlights that you would say, you know, because of the racetrack or being in the racing business, right? I mean, look, we get to know a ton of people,
Right.
But
We did.
what's some of the highlights that you got to be able to do, or got to meet?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, flying in the F-15, General Mike Lowe was out here one night for Armed Services Night, and we hit it off, and he asked me at the end of the night, was there anything that he could do for me? I said, yeah, give me out one of your birds, jokingly. And that Monday I got a phone call, and that following Monday I was flying an F-15, and that was all.
Did you get sick?
No, I almost did. We pulled 6.5 G's, going straight up 39,000, and then back down 39,000. And he let me take it over. It was a Navy exchange pilot, and he told me when we took off, it was real overcast here, and he says we're going to go down to Hatteras, off Hatteras, and play with it. It's clear down there. So we took off, and as soon as wheels got off the ground, he said, and I said, you have a cheese suit that squeezes you, and it squeezes you so it keeps the blood in your head.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready for it. And he said, that was 3.5 G's. And I said, okay. And we were above the clouds. We left here, had to go towards Richmond first to get to, trying to go around the low that was off the coast. Well, in 12 minutes, we were flying upside down over Hatteras. There were people on the beach and everything. We were about 1,000 feet off the beach. They check the people out, man. And I'm
I'd have been like,
yeah, I was cool. I was like, that was neat. And so we flew all down there, like I said, 39,000 feet straight up. And he cut the motors, and we just glided down. And last minute, you know, he turned it. And he said, all right, it's your turn. So I pulled all the way back. Everything that he had, I had. And I pulled back on the stick. We went up again, 39,000. And he said, I'm going to cut the motors. He said, now, when we get close to the water, you got to pull that stick back, or if not, we're going in the water. I'm taking my hands off. And he just threw his hands up there. And so we got close. And he said, now, I was trying to pull it out of the floorboard. I was doing all I could. And back up again. And that was cool. And then he said, right before we headed home, he said, I know you like speed because you're around racing. And I said, I'm going to show you what real speed is. And we were about, I felt I could reach out and touch the water. We were right on the water, and he took off across the ocean. And he never would tell me how fast we went, but it says afterburners in the throttle, and it was in the afterburner mode. And literally, my face. He said, "How you doing back there?" I said, I mean, we were going so fast, the speed was distorting my face, and he never would tell me how fast, but we were cooking. I tell you, that was pretty neat.
That reminded me when you had those midgets or something that came and ran here way back in the day. I think Terry Harris practiced one or something. He's like, he felt his face come off the corner and go like that.
Yeah. You were talking about the entertainment, the midget thing. We did a thing, and I thought about it with Eddie Johnson. We had the midgets here, and I said, all right, let's do a thing. Anybody under 5 foot, I think it was, gets him free. And I said,
he's so true.
We said, that's what we said. We all of Eddie Johnson fans go get him free tonight. And we did a thing. Anybody, we had a stick out there. And we
did you really?
Yeah, and if you were under 5 foot, you got him free tonight.
Now, how did you get? How did you and Chuck get together?
That's a story in itself too. Chuck, I was in my office, where Chuck office is, and I hired a guy from Robinsonville, and he was supposed to come here and work for me and everything, and I had everything lined up. He was going to market it and take care of stuff, and he called me, and I was on the phone with him, and I was hotter than firecracker, and he reneged on his agreement. And I slammed the phone down when Chuck walked in, and he heard me yelling at the guy. Chuck come walking in. He says, I want that job. And I said, who are you? He said, Chuck Hall. And I said, all right. I said, what's your background? He told me. I said, send over your resume. So he did. And this is a funny story. Chuck can tell you all the time about it. So he sent over a resume. I'm calling all these radio stations and all these people, and just, knew him up in Pulaski and stuff. Nobody knew him.
What did they do, baseball or something?
He come back in about 4 days later. He said, man, did you make a call? I said, yeah. And I said, you're a effing liar. And he looked at me. I said, ain't going up to know you. I don't know what kind of crap you're giving, what kind of crap you're pulling, but get out of my office. What do you mean, man? I said, I called. No. They knew me as my radio name, not my regular name. I called everybody back, and they all, yeah, I know him and everything.
What was his radio name?
I don't even remember really back then. And he's been a blessing. As I told him the other day, or many times, I said, you outlast 4 owners, So, and Chuck just kind of goes with the track. And his first sale, I'll never forget. Back then, we didn't have phone lines hooked up or nothing when he come to work for me. And we had a phone booth that used to be back when phone booths were still, we had one outside. And he'd get a roll of quarters and go start calling sponsors, standing in that phone booth. That was his office. Oh, yeah. Well, we were in Daytona for the promoters meeting, my partner and I. And we get a phone call. And he calls me and he says, I got a sponsor. I just don't know who to make the check to. So Jim was standing there. I said, Chuck's got a sponsor. Who we make the check to? And Jim, being who he was, he said, well, how much is it? And I said, how much is it? He said, 50,000. I said, 50,000? I said, from who? He said, Coca-Cola. I said, 50,000. He said, what? And he said, make it out to so-and-so. And I said, okay. And that was the first sale Chuck ever made.
Is that right?
$50,000 sale for Coca-Cola in the phone booth in the rain. Yeah.
Well, Wayne, we appreciate you coming and being with us. We're gonna get you back here and get some more stories from you.
I got plenty of them.
We'll get you back and do that real soon. And,
Okay. Appreciate the
I
opportunity.
think we used to
enjoy
use the payphone sometimes when it was raining here way back and call the
Call the
racetrack.
racetrack. Is it raining there?
No! No, Sonny here, come on now. We'll be here. Motherfucker's alive. The West Cape phone, the phone booth out front.
Oh, it'd be raining.
It'd be raining like hell.
You call here? No, it ain't raining, man. We're running tonight.
They want you to come in.
Well, we were gonna run one way or the other. It had to be pretty much.
Oh, this is before you.
Oh, okay. Well, even us, we go, yeah, man, it's beautiful here. Cars are on the track, and they're on track dragging tires. But yeah, it was. There's a lot of stories, man. Like I shared with y'all the first night I ran the track, I got arrested. We'll save that for another week.
We gotta get that one out there too.
Yeah. I hadn't heard that one.
Well, we appreciate it, man.
Thank y'all.
And we'll have you back sometime real soon. and,
Appreciate it.
Do some more talking.
Good luck this year.
Go get them this year.
Yeah, and one last shout out. I wore the hat tonight. Full Throttle Media. My grandson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's killing it.
He's gifted, and now he's doing it full time. He quit his regular job last week. He's got a contract to go to New Smyrna
Good for him.
for a week, and he's lined up with a bunch of teams there. He's got 2 or 3 contracts. He's waiting to get back on doing full seasons at South Boston, Cars Tour, road racing. And I mean, he's in high demand right now. And the quality of work he does, it's more than taking pictures. You know,
Yes.
he does the video.
That's the
and-
easy part.
yeah, but he's associated with all this stuff that me being the season I am in life, I don't know about TikTok and this and that. I mean, he's got, it's like he'll post something and he'll have over 100,000 views quick.
Yeah.
No, his stuff is really good.
Yeah,
And he's doing a great job.
so if you need some media attention, just attention to your team, help your sponsors out.
So he's gonna give you a discount? Or?
He ain't even gonna be here. There's another young kid out here that I'm probably end up having to hire to do some stuff for because he's pretty booked up in South Boston this year.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Are you racing this? You got the car ready?
yeah, Lord willing, we'll see. But yeah, that's the game plan. But and somebody asked me the other day, since you bring it up. I'll give kudos where kudos belong. I was asked today, matter of fact, by an employee here at racetrack, they said, "Who's your next superstar?" And I said,
Me.
"Langley." And you all, Brandy's here. She's always superstar at Langley, but especially in fundraising and everything, she goes
100%.
up and beyond. Buddy, kudos to you. Anyway, I said, the problem is money. I said, talent-wise, it's your son, Jacob.
Thank you.
That comes from my heart. The kid is well-rounded, very talented, takes care of his equipment, and if he could find the right backer, he could.
One of the $50,000 checks.
Well, more than
That's the start. It's the start.
And I'll share it with you, because we were talking about Butterbean. We were talking about what it takes to move up. If it wasn't for John Staten and the Staten family, Butterbean wouldn't be where he is today, and Butterbean will openly tell you that.
For sure.
And unfortunately, that's where this sport is. It takes somebody that's willing to invest in you and believe in you. And if there's anybody out there, Jacob Derrick is worth investing in.
You heard it right here.
Well, we appreciate it, Wayne. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
get John
Thanks,
over
Wayne.
here.
All right.
Thanks, Wayne.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it. I'll see you. Okay.
Thanks,
See you
man.
later.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right. See you later, young man.
Give me good money to use your bathroom, but you can't flush it.
Yeah. All right, Charlie. See you later. All right.
All right, let's get John LACLAIR in here.
Be careful, because I'm gonna spell.
know.
Oh, it's a little slick, yeah.
I came up steps. Well, I didn't because okay.
All right,
How you doing?
tell us a little bit about John, what all he's got going on.
Well, we do road racing in Champ Car. It's a series where we do basically
Now, this is not go-karts, because those are champ karts.
Champ Car
Yeah.
and not Champ Karts, but we race at VIR generally with our team. We have I have four partners in the car. You might know Albert Falk.
Yeah.
He's our primary. He's the captain. We have team captains and everything, and he does a lot of the grunt work there. And another gentleman out of Baltimore, Chris Cortman, and another gentleman that lives over in Suffolk, Alvin Harris.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we started this about 3 years ago. Now Albert said, "Hey, you want to race?" I said, "Well, what do you mean? I'm a late model?" And no, it's totally different. He threw this out there and he said, and the thing is, you all are actually going to drive. So we had never driven before.
So Albert's not driving?
Oh, Albert drives.
Okay.
He's our hot shoe. Okay, he's one of our hot shoes, and I'm out there. I'm not going to say that I'm a road racer. I turn laps. Okay, I keep the car going. Okay, but what we do with this is we put together, about 4 races a season. We do 2 at VIR. Actually, we do 3, and then we pick a race somewhere else. Like last year, we picked Daytona, which was a whole nother experience. And if anybody wants to do it, get a hold of me. We'll put a package together if you want to drive Daytona. And most of the people that I'm kind of pitching this to, they all have wheel-to-wheel experience. And that's what we're looking for. Our last race in December at VIR, we had a fantastic weekend. Finished, I think, 12th overall on Saturday and 10th overall on Sunday. We had one of the guys that we brought in to drive the car also knew another guy, and we had a Xfinity driver, Garrett Smithley,
Okay.
come in, and he had never seen VIR before. And he got out there and he said, "Oh, this is fantastic." And he was throwing down laps, fantastic laps. But that's the kind of racing we do. We go out there, it's fun. It's, when I say affordable, we've been talking about money all night.
Right.
And yeah, it's doable, but it's still expensive. And that's why,
We got the R word in the beginning.
yeah, racing and,
Yeah.
Affordability and racing don't really
No,
make sense, but,
unfortunately.
you can build a car for $10,000, which, for car building and what we're around here, that's nothing.
But this is an endurance race.
This
and
is
you guys
endurance racing.
are how many guys are driving a car during a stint?
Generally, we have 4 drivers in a say a 8-hour race. Will circulate every 2 hours is the maximum stint time. But we also figured that with fuel, then you come in for fuel and everything, and there's specific rules. There's a lot more rules. For like fueling and everything. We have minimum 5-minute pit stops. You have to, if you're getting fuel, you have to be there a minimum of 5 minutes. That's more of a safety thing. This kind of racing also involves taking care of your equipment.
Mhm.
And this is where it really gets, where the strategy comes in. We play chess out here at Langley. There, we have to learn how to play 3D chess. I mean, because you've got so much going on with fuel strategy. Who's your strongest driver? What are the weather conditions? Things like that all play into because we race in the rain.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a totally different type of way.
So is y'all's car gutted?
Oh yeah, what we did was, and this Albert got a hold of a car from his father, Freddie,
Yeah.
and it was a Infiniti G35 that was left at his shop. And so basically, they said, "Well, you want the cars?" And they, "Yeah, sure." So we decided to gut the car. Literally, it took us a good month to gut the car. You would not believe, you take a stock car,
How much lighter you can make it?
how much. Well, we're still finding ways to make this car lighter.
Mm.
You've got so much into a manufacturer's car. You don't know. You're going deeper and deeper and deeper, finding out stuff that you can pull out. I mean, we pulled out one door with the guts and everything torn out. It was 75 pounds.
Mhm.
I mean, we were just finding all kinds of stuff to rip out.
Do y'all go up and run at VIR? Are they still doing that endurance race or whatever up there? Or
Yeah,
3 hour or
they-
whatever?
We do
Or 6 hour?
VIR this year.
Not VIR, I'm sorry, Dominion.
Dominion is doing a race in March 14th.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what our plans are yet, but we're not sure. It is on the schedule. We're definitely going to do the VIR races because they're so much. One, they're easy to get to and fun, and the facility. If you've never been there, the facility is world class.
It is, and I did not realize until I seen the show with the Dodge show that how long VIR had been around. I didn't realize it had been around that long.
For a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I once I got involved in it, I started studying the history of that place. I'm like, my gosh, this place actually goes back further, into the 50s. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's pretty interesting.
it's a and again, it's a different kind of racing. I mean,
Do y'all run the same course each time?
they
Because that can be converted
they
into
yeah.
a bunch of different courses, right?
we've run the full course.
Okay. Which that's what,
That's
7 miles?
no, it's
No.
3.
I thought it
I
was.
want it's like 3.6 and some change. And then there's the north course and the south course. We've done the south course. The south course is kind of like a little short track that's a road course that you can actually, if you're watching it from the sidelines, you can actually see everything on the south course. It's really
Okay.
kind of like it's a Langley that's a road course. That's
Mhm.
kind of cool. You're closer to it. A lot of elevation changes there.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
really, that's another thing you have to learn.
As the car gets light and
The
some
car
of those,
light, and you just, you got to know things like knowing when to lift, when to brake. That's,
yeah, what number am I going by?
So-
Yeah.
When you say you're looking for packages, what kind of deals do you work out as far as packages?
Oh, well, if you want to come and race a whole weekend with us, you're looking at about, $1,500 to $2,000, and that's the whole weekend.
Mhm.
And you possibly, I'm of the I would rather give up a stint. If I know my car can go to the front, I'll give up a stint for a better driver. You know, get out there and put that car up front.
Right.
I mean, that's how much I want that car to perform well.
Yeah.
I'll sit out. I'll sit out a stint. I got no problem with that if I can put another driver to make that car.
We're going to finish
Yeah.
further up.
Go.
Now, when you guys set this thing up, are you setting it because you're turning left and right, but you're doing more rights than you are lefts? So do you set it up to turn better right and just sacrifice the left?
Now that's a question that I really can't answer because I don't really do a whole lot of wrenching on the car. I'll be
Okay.
perfectly honest with you. I do not do a
I'm
lot
not
of
going to
wrenching.
share that information.
But yeah,
that's an Albert question.
yeah, that's an Albert and Chris question. And actually, the thing is, tire management in what we do is a big deal because
So y'all change tires?
not really, because we can actually make a set of tires last 2 races.
Can you really?
If you do it right, have the right type. But there are some teams that will spend $10,000 a weekend on tires. That's where it gets the balance of performance gets a little, you got these teams that will sink in, and these guys do it for a living. They
Right.
sell, they bring in road course racers that just want seat time, so, you can't really kind of compete with that. We are a Mazda and Boxster heavy series, but, that's just, that's part of it.
Mhm.
We have all kinds of cars that you would not believe people race.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's all I
Yeah,
mean,
you name it.
you name it. Yeah, it's out there.
So how did you get involved in the racing? I mean, I remember seeing you. Were you an official here a long time ago? And I seen you at arena racing. You were
Yeah.
official.
What I actually got my start with Mike New Senior. Mike
Yeah.
Junior. His daddy brought me
Okay.
to the racetrack, and I got kind of sucked into that, and it just kind of snowballed, and every year I went. I think the first year that I really went full time with the crew was Larry Phelps.
Okay.
Back in '96, right after Wayne had taken over the ownership of the racetrack. Then just kind of hung out, went racing again with Mike Senior, went to Southampton with Mike Junior and all that. And one day I kind of wandered into the old Curtis Key
Okay.
truck shop,
Yeah.
and I wanted just to go in to see the place and maybe do something. And I met Albert and Freddie. They were running the program at the time, and they took me in, and that's how I got up to working with Albert.
Let's get Kyle LOCKROW on here because he's also done some champ car stuff. Let's get him on.
Kyle, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
How's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Well, tell us a little bit what you got going on.
Well, it's I'm glad to be back. Hope everybody in Jack Dodson and Scott Allen Nation are having a good night. It's been an eventful. It's been a while since I've been on the show, so I've been doing. It's funny you're talking Champ Car. We're actually getting ready to start the season back up for Champ Car in about a week and a half at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. And I was hearing you guys talking about VIR a little bit. So I can elaborate a little bit on the different layouts that he was talking about. Traditionally, they would go to VIR 3 times a year. And traditionally, it's going to change. But traditionally in the spring, you would run the Bull Ring, the 1.6 mile south course at VIR. And then we would run the 24-hour on the full course in August. And then when they'd come back to run what was the championship in December, it would be an 8-7. That's what they usually do. So it's an 8-hour on Saturday, 7-hour on Sunday. And then traditionally we'd run the North course, but they flipped it to get more cars there and I think put on a better show, which it did. So we ran the full course, but it's been a lot of fun. Champ Car is great. I can attest to what they're talking about. There's a lot of NASCAR guys like Garrett Smithley, Mason Maggio, Ryan Vargas. I mean, you name it. A lot of the NASCAR guys are doing it. I ran into a gentleman, John Curley, who was driving for 2244 Motorsports. That used to work for Travis Carter and a host of other teams. He's raced all kinds of stuff. But so many oval guys are wanting to run Champ Car just because of how affordable it is and how much fun it is.
So how many races will you run?
Well, for this year, I just finalized the deal. I'll be back at Daytona to run a stint, but my role is a little different. In addition to my driving, I actually am on the broadcast team for the series. So Champ Car Live presented by AutoZone. I'm the co-host with Paulie Veltum and Lester Epps, who is Les is our pit road reporter in the series. So we'll call 11 of the 20 or 21 races this year, starting at Road Atlanta in, I believe, in February, all the way up to Coda. The series will go to Coda for one trip in the end of on New Year's for this year. So, and then I'll also look at running a few other races with another team, but we'll have some announcements that'll be coming out with that as well here in the next, hopefully in the next couple weeks.
You gonna do in-car announcing?
Uh, We've talked about it. Actually, we have some technology that Paulie's wanted to put in the car to have me do it. As animated as I can get in the car, I know that they're probably on the fence on whether they want me to be able to do it from in the car, but we have talked about it, maybe where I could do something under caution and really give some insight as to what the track's going to do. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to going back to Daytona. I'm not sure what other races I'm going to run this year in Champ Car. I'm eyeing up maybe Pocono, Lime Rock Park. I'd love to go back to Watkins Glen. It's one of my favorite tracks. But as of right now, I'm at least going to do Daytona in April, and then I'll have the announcement as to what team and manufacturer I'm driving for. But when I broadcast on the weekends, I usually just do one stint because I want to make sure I'm giving full effort to the broadcast team as well. So they're kind enough to let me go play for a little bit.
Well, let's go now.
He does a great job broadcasting, by the way. I want to
Thank you.
put that out. Talking about putting something in the car to talk to him. We're actually going to try that little box of tricks this year with our car. I got a live stream camera. We're going to go ahead and start possibly streaming audio to our live stream. That's one of the fun things that we can do in Champ Car. He was talking about the different tracks. We get to drive tracks at I want to say, reasonable cost that a lot of people dream of driving. You got Watkins Glen, Daytona, Coda. They doing Road America this year?
Yep, we always go to Road America. We'll be back there at the end of October. We go to Sebring twice a year. We run some of the most premier road courses around North America. The series, traditionally back in its heyday when it was under the Chump Car banner, actually went to Calabogie and raced a little bit in Canada. Maybe they'll get to that point, but I know they're working on just trying to get back to the West Coast at this point. But, I mean, we run premier tracks like he just stated, and it is a playground. A lot of the drivers that you saw over the weekend at the Rolex 24, many of those teams will have drivers that will traditionally come and run VIR. They'll run Daytona and they'll run the Glen. And the reason for that is because, like, for example, Rockwell Auto Sport Development, who ran in Michelin Pilot TCR competition this weekend with Doug Oakley and their main driver in their Hyundai entry. They run Champ Car very, very regularly. And the reason a lot of the teams do this is because you get to run the same tracks. It helps with your approvals process, just like in NASCAR for a lot of the viewers that know, just like what Butterbean had to go through, where he had to run various tracks to get approved by NASCAR to show what he could do in trucks and what's going to be now O'Reilly Auto Parts competition, formerly Xfinity. And it's the same way in IMSA. You have to prove yourself, but Champ Car is a proving ground that allows you to race these courses, but then it's a way for IMSA teams and teams in different ranks and divisions of IMSA to vet their drivers and their competition. And it's a good way to formulate kind of a farm system for driver development. So what the Cars Tour is for a lot of your NASCAR teams, the Champ Car Series is what's becoming for a lot of your IMSA teams. And actually a lot of the NASCAR teams are using it as well, because with the increase of road courses on the schedules across the board of the top 3 series, it's really helped step up the game of a lot of drivers. And again, that's why you see so many of them doing it, because NASCAR runs a lot of those same courses.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so great. I mean, there's the cross pollination now between the stock car world and the road racing world is starting to, you know,
Mixed together.
And I like it. I mean, when I discovered road racing, I was like, oh yeah, this is fun. You know, like I said, you know, my love is always going to be Langley Speedway, but you know.
Well, Kyle, what other kind of racing you gonna do this year? Is that about it, or?
Well, we'll do some Champ Car stuff. I'm hoping to get back onto the oval side. It's been a number of years since I've run on a NASCAR side. I'm hoping to maybe get back in a truck at some point, maybe on a road course, maybe try to do Richmond or Martinsville or a short track, but we'll have to see. With calling the 11 races, we actually also just relocated to Florida permanently, so we're living down in south of Orlando now. So it's going to take a little bit more planning to get to some of the races, but I'm hoping to do that. I do have a connection with a late model team, Miranda Racing. Hoping to run for Truett and his dad Les that used to race up at Old Dominion Speedway. I'm trying to coordinate a test because I'm itching to get back on the ovals. I miss doing it. I've loved the road racing, like they said. It's addictive. It's a lot of fun. It's affordable, and it's helped me on the ovals. But I want to get back to it because I just haven't gotten a chance to do it, and I really want to get back out there. And I'd love to eventually work up to maybe get to do a Cars Tour race or even a local Saturday night or Friday night show somewhere, just to see if I can still do it on the ovals and just to continue to diversify my resume and continue to work. We had kind of put the NASCAR stuff on hold a little bit just because we were making some inroads with IMSA, and I'm cleared to do some of the competition there. And we're hoping to finalize some stuff to maybe get to do some more road racing on the IMSA side. But it really, like everybody else can attest to, it all just comes down to money. I mean, we've seen this offseason so many drivers that had thought about running full-time are now having to back down to part-time, and there's drivers that have maybe found something to where they're taking their full-time program and going, or part-time and going full-time. So it's really just very money dependent, and I'm hoping to get to do that. But I'm really enjoying the TV work as well. I'm really enjoying being a part of Champ Car Live and working with Paulie and Les and just getting to call the races. I appreciate the compliment. We're working really hard to continue to enhance the show and just make it more enjoyable for everybody. We wanted to make it more of a professional experience, but we wanted to make it more of what you would see over the weekend, what NBC was doing. And it was nice to see that what the broadcast gave over the weekend, we're kind of throwing some of those tricks in as well, but putting our own spin on it. So we're excited for the season ahead. I think 2026 will be a good year for me in the booth, but I'm really hoping to have a good run at Daytona. It's a strong team that I'm going to be driving for. I've driven for them before. It's a fast car, and I really hope that I can prove myself, and hopefully we can get some money behind us and I can get back in the seat more regularly.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, we appreciate it, man. I hate you down in Florida now. Well, we might not see much of you anymore. I mean, you know.
Well, at least until it thaws out up there, you probably won't see me because with all the snow and ice and everything. But I do miss all you guys up there, and just needed a change of scenery. And I've got some family that's not doing too well. So my wife and I moved down, had a great job opportunity pop up down here in the IT field that I work in. But mainly we moved down to take care of some family in addition to just needed that change of scenery. And but Jack, I really appreciate it. Scott, I'm glad to see you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for letting me come on and be part of the show. Real quick, I just like to give a shout out to my wife Tanya, who's watching, my family. I want to thank all my sponsors and partners, Big Red Custom Diecast, Justin Ballier. I'd like to thank Max Pappas Innovations, Max, Taddy, Bobby, Sean. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. I'd like to thank Dubby, Victory Junction, Give Kids the World. I'd like to thank Victory Fuel, Kevin and your team out west. I really appreciate what you guys do for me. I want to thank Gamers Lair up in Ohio. I'd like to thank K1 Race Gear, Zamp Helmets, all their team and their team over in France and Italy. Thank you guys for continuing to keep me safe. I'd like to give a nod to Randy and Lisa LaJoy. Thank you, Randy, for the safe seats that you put me in. You keep my fat rear end from getting hurt. I really appreciate that very much. And just want to thank everybody. And just if anybody listening is interested, we have programs available. If you'd like to get your name out there, whether on a small scale or on a professional scale, we'd love to enhance your brand and give you some coverage all in road racing. And just like they were talking about, the cross marketing is something that's amazing. That gap that there was years ago is no longer there. So if you're looking for a great program, reach out to KyleLockRow.com. My wife Tanya takes care of all of our business interests. We can get you hooked up strong.
Well, Kyle, we appreciate it, man, and hopefully we'll see you around sometime this year. And I guess you won't be coming up to Charlotte when we're up there this year, but
we may be up there for some stuff. We're hoping to, if some opportunities can present themselves, maybe get up there for the 600 weekend, or maybe get up there for the 500 weekend now that they just announced it'll be back on the oval. So that might open up another opportunity or something like that. We'll just have to see what happens. But Jack, thank you for all you do. I love listening to the show. Scott, it's great to see you again. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope your new year is starting off strong.
all right, well,
Thanks,
we
buddy.
appreciate it, man. Thank you, and I hope everything goes good. Keep us apprised of what you got going on.
Absolutely. I'll do a better job of staying in touch with all the family stuff we had going on. I kind of had to take some time off of social media a little bit. So we're starting to ramp back up. We've gotten things a little bit under control. So I think it'll be a little bit better, but love to get you guys out to a champ car race. Jack, Scott, if you guys want to come out to
Oh yeah,
one of
I
the
have to
races,
come to
you should
VIR.
come out. You guys should come out to VIR for the championship, or come out to have them come out to Dominion just to check it out. It's an amazing series. Come out to one of the races. We'll get you guys in the booth. We'll get you interviewed. You guys can come out, do some media stuff on site. Be a great way to kind of cross promote.
Oh,
Get some
you're
great
done hooked.
reviewers.
So
I know. Look, you're talking about interviewing. You know, we love the spotlight. Like we're gonna.
Oh, we know that.
We're
That's why I'm
spotlight
offering.
wars here.
I figured if there was camera, mirrors, and pretty girls, we could get you guys out there.
Exactly right.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you again real soon. And
That's what we encourage things about Champ Car. We encourage you to come. You don't have to come race the first time. Come out
Mhm.
there. See,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like this place. Everybody's a family.
Right.
You know,
don't start that. He'll think next thing you know, he'll be begging y'all let him drive. And we don't need that.
Yeah. Let's see. You might fit in the seat.
Hey, if you got a little wheel
Yeah, no,
competition and you're over the age of 16, we got enough guys in that paddock that can train you. We got some guys that can put him in a car. He'll have more
Yeah.
fun than he knows what to do with.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you again real soon, and keep us up to date
Yeah,
on
man.
what you got going on, so we can get together sometime.
Absolutely. As soon as I have an inkling those announcements will come out, we'll be sure to let you guys know. And keep your fingers crossed. I'm hoping to get back on the oval scene. Thank you guys again so much, and have a great rest of the show. Thanks to everybody, Jack Dodson Nation.
Thank
buddy.
you,
See
man.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Great guy.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
We've known him.
We have a driver here. Eddie Clark said he'll make barbecue for the seat.
Like that deal. No, but we really, if you really want it, just for an added different kind of spice of racing, come up and
Well,
spend
I was
a
actually
weekend up there and
we were talking about or had mentioned that MX5 racing that runs in
I
Vienna.
love it.
Man, that's a neat series. We had that girl on, and man, I didn't know they had that
Was that
show.
Sally?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a great kid, man.
she-
I mean, she ain't a kid anymore, but a
No.
great girl.
she's gonna. I think she's gonna do well. She's gonna be.
Seems like it.
She's really gonna take the late model serious,
Mm-hmm.
and
She's got a good opportunity.
oh yeah.
And she's some great partners and that kind
All
of
right,
stuff.
let's get Brian on here. Cress is tied up, so we won't have Cress with us, but let's get Brian on here.
What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you all?
We're doing great, man. You getting ready for the season?
We are. We're getting ready. We've been working on a lot of things, sponsorship wise, car wise. Me and Chris have done some testing together on different things. It's been a busy off season for both of us. Looking forward to it. As of right now, the biggest thing that we have our eyes set on for me is doing the Triple Crown. That's something that I've been interested in doing, And I always wanted to run Martinsville growing up. And after I quit racing late models for a while and I've got back in it now I want to go see how I can stack up against the competition there. So we're definitely looking forward to doing the Triple Crown together.
Now, let me ask you something, Brian. You're gonna be driving for KRES.
Yes, sir.
That's a problem in itself. But he's a good guy. But
Good looking wife. Good looking wife.
well, see, I'm not going in that direction. But the thing about it is, Brian, we called him the king of Kingsport. He won a bunch of races and everything in Kingsport. How hard is it to drive for somebody that thinks he's perfect?
Well, I raced against Chris, and this is one thing when we kind of teamed up. We was on the way to South Boston, and we were kind of talking about mishaps with other drivers through the years and everything. And he kind of hit the brakes and looked at me for a second. He said, "Did we ever have trouble on the track?" We both kind of laughed, and we did, and we raced really clean together. And Chris is good. He's good behind the wheel, and he's good at working on the car. We kind of make the joke a lot of times about running against the higher funded teams per se.
Yeah.
And we're still a jack and jack stand team. We've said that before. It's great to see somebody small like him that has his talent to know what to do with the car. And it makes it really easy to drive for him, telling him what the car needs or what the car's doing. It's like he don't even question it. He's like, okay, well, we can fix it with this. And you go back out on the racetrack and it's fixed. So, the first race I ran for him, I was really worried. And by the time we got to the racetrack, he had me so nervous that I was scared to even get in his car. But after I made the first lap, and I told him as soon as we pulled in at South Boston for the Crush 250, I told him, I said, "You've got me so nervous, I'm scared to even get in your car." And he said, "No," he said, don't be, get in it and do what you do." And after about 5 laps, all that went away. Everything was perfectly fine. And I realized that he brought a car to the racetrack that was going to be competitive, especially for somebody that hadn't been in a late model in 11 years, and to do as good as we did out of the trailer. And then even in the race, it had me so excited that I actually signed up afterwards to do the race at Southern National. So
he suckered you right in, didn't he?
He did. He is good at that too.
Yeah, but he's such a good guy. I mean, I think the world of KRES and his whole family, and it's really cool to see. He's trying to build his program, and I think you and him together are going to make a good team. I think it'll be a good team.
Well, he told me we went and done a test last weekend, and he told me there's only one problem with the Triple Crown, that I may have to run against him one race. I don't know which race that'll be or what.
Might be that Martinsville.
I don't know. He didn't say, and I just even if it came down to that and we had to race against each other, I would look forward to it. And I told him that. I told him, that if it came to that I didn't care one bit. And he said, I don't either. So the only thing is we don't know who's going to crew chief what.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting situation now. Now I'm going to ask this question because I know what KRES's answer is going to be for it. You and KRES coming down for a chance to win the race.
One to go.
You got it. You got him in your sights. You ready? Are you going to dump him to get the win?
Well, I feel like in a reverse situation, he would dump me to win. So of course I would. I wouldn't wreck him. I would move him.
I was gonna say, it probably depends on the crash clause of his and Chris's car. Hey, what was the challenge of being out of the car for 10 years or so and then getting back in it? What's been the biggest adjustment?
Well, whenever I raced late model, it was the big bar soft spring setup. You had a lot of travel in the front end, in the corners, the nose was down on the racetrack. This is like comparison wise, now would be more like running a go-kart. Everything, once you pull off pit road, it's pinned to the racetrack. I felt like that there would be a lot of changes as far as how the car felt, but once I got up to speed, I really couldn't tell any difference. The only big difference I noticed was the amount of travel going into the corner. Like you're pinned to the racetrack now versus the front end would drop 4 to 6 inches before. So it wasn't as hard as I thought that it would be to switch over, to the new stuff versus the old stuff.
So do you get in and into the setup any, or do you be like, this stuff has changed so much, Chris, you just do whatever you do?
Well, Chris really helped me out with that. How we got hooked back up together, he had an open seat for the car store race at Florence, and I follow their Facebook page, VANDYKE Racing Performance, and I saw that they put the post on Facebook looking for a driver. And I didn't message to drive at Florence, but the racing is in my blood. Like it, even standing to the side, not having anything to do with racing, I still wanted to know, can I still compete? Can I still do it? And I've wanted to get back in it, didn't know how to do it exactly without going and buying my own car. And I didn't really want to get tied up with that again. So I messaged Chris when I seen the post, and I asked him about it, and he said, well, we've got some end of the year stuff open. He said, why don't you come and help me? You see the changes, you see what the car needs. And when you get in the seat, you'll be way ahead. So that's what I did. And to be honest with you, I have as much fun going with them and helping work on the car as I do driving it. I still get the racing feel, not so much as from the seat, but I get the experience of being at the track, working on the car, which when I raced before, that was, I took care of my own car. So I've still got that side of it, and that kind of helps calm the itch a little bit. But being in the seat is, there's nothing compared to it. So him allowing me to come and help, we've built a lot better friendship than what we had before. We both have a better understanding of each other, and it really helped put me ahead of the game when I did get in the seat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's got to be good to be a part of the VANDYKE team, but we all know Erin really runs the show.
She's in charge.
She's in charge. So, I mean, is she happy with you being a driver?
Well, she is in control. She's the one that sent the most messages when we started working this first deal out for South Boston, talking to me about everything. But after qualifying at South Boston, she messaged me personally. She didn't get to come to the race, but she messaged me personally and said, I don't know what your plans are for next year, but we want you to run the Triple Crown for us. So that's where all the Triple Crown ideas started. And we're pushing forward to make that happen. We're working on stuff, trying to get some select Cars Tour events in, or if the sponsorships come available, maybe a full season. I know we've only got a few weeks to decide that, but there's definitely about 5 or 6 races that I want to run in the Cars Tour, if nothing else. So we're trying to get things lined out. He has some other stuff going on for the Cars Tour, so anything that I get will be a plus for him and me both. So
Great family. I mean, Chris is a great guy. He has a great program, and he's very dedicated, right?
Well, I tell you what, I enjoyed meeting you down at Southern National and hanging out with you and Cress. And it's really cool that you're there with him and being a part of that team. And I wish the best for you, man. I hope everything goes good.
Well, I really appreciate it. And it was nice to sit and talk to you and meet you at Southern National. I had a lot of fun down there. Both tracks, South Boston and Southern National, I'd never turned a lap on. And that just goes to show you a lot about Chris and his program, because we, both races had made it into the top 5. At South Boston, we had a little bit of trouble, cut a right front tire down under green, had to pit, lost 3 laps. But Southern National, we had a really good car. And, you know, I'd never ran a track like Southern National. I even told the spotter after the first caution, I said, I've never ran a track where the spotter's telling me to slow down. So,
Well, Brian, we appreciate you being with us tonight, man, and I hope everything goes good. I'm gonna try to get you and KRES on together again, because I know he's busy tonight. He had something come up, but we'll get back with you and get you and KRES on here together.
yeah, I'd like to be on here with Chris too, and I appreciate you for having me on, Jack. I think Chris is out of power with the storm stuff this past weekend, and he's trying to deal with that and keeping his family warm and everything. So I understand him being tied up this evening, but I'm glad that I could be on, and I appreciate you having me. Appreciate the invite, and if you can get us back on soon together, that would be great.
We're gonna do it. I promise we'll get you both back together. So that'd be cool.
All righty.
All right,
I appreciate you all.
we'll talk to you again soon, man.
All right. See y'all later.
All right, man.
Bye.
Well, we'll see how he does. See if Aaron fires him.
I guess we'll see him at Langley if they're running the Triple Crown.
Well, no, in
They'll
July,
get used to the heat.
Yeah.
If the car shows up without him in July, well,
We know what happened.
Aaron pulled rank.
Yeah. Well, so when's your
Right now, I think we're going to probably do VIR in I think it's July. Yeah, July. They're not doing a 24-hour race this year at VIR. They're doing it out at in Arkansas. We're tracking the Ozarks. So this will be a first time that hasn't been a 24. And we'll see how that goes. But
Do y'all try to limit how many drivers you have? Because
generally,
obviously you don't want to stop
Right,
so many
yeah.
times.
Well, your maximum drive time is only 2 hours, so you can't go any longer than 2 hours. Then
So you last 2 hours on the
For
car?
one stint, or
one stint's generally 2 hours, or normally you'll run it an hour and 45, depending on your fuel load and how much fuel your car can carry and such. And normally when you come into fuel, you change driver. That's how it normally works. I
2 hours is a long time.
2 hours in a race car, turning left and right, is a long time.
It is.
And
That's why if you last 2 hours.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll tell you a funny story. First time I got in the car, and the car we have now is not the car we started with. If you look at it, it's the same car, but it's totally different. First time I was racing, and doing the whole elevation change and the rights and the lefts all over VIR, and it's a huge elevation change. It's over 300 feet of elevation. I got car sick. You ever say race car driver? Get car sick.
No.
So, I mean, if you're not used to that, that's
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah. 2 hours in a car is a long time.
Yeah. And let's just say that didn't last long. I just said, yeah. So, but fortunately with the number of drivers that, we can have, if like I said, I'm willing to give up a stint. If I know the drivers that we brought on board can put that car out front. That's as an owner, I want my car out front. I want,
Right.
That's just the way I look at it. And yeah, the driving part is fun,
Yeah.
but
Well, we got to go up there, Scott. We got to go up there.
yeah.
What race is on the same weekend with y'all up at VR? Or is it just
No, it says we're standalone events.
okay?
Normally what happens the day before, there might be a high performance driving experience program out there. And normally if that's the case, teams will come in on a Friday, pay for the high performance driving experience just to get track time. And they do some of that at some tracks. It just depends on what the track has scheduled.
Gotcha.
That's the one thing about VIR is they're always got something going on.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing that
Yeah, dude.
that place is.
I mean, they got the go-karts, they got houses out there you can stay in.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they like I said, the facilities are world class, and I say, you know, if anybody comes, you know, we as a team, we always get a garage. That is like, once you get a garage, it sure beats.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure of that, yeah.
it's just, you know, especially with those.
I know, that's why, like, I mean, I don't think they have the property here, but it would be so cool if they did have the property.
Yeah,
And you could rent garages out, and people wouldn't have to tow their stuff back and forth, right? They
yeah.
can just leave it here. you
it
know?
is. Once you get a garage, especially for those 3 a.m. transmission changes, that's the, you know, that's the kind of thing, you know. So, but again, we have fun, and yes, we encourage you to go up there. And I think with it's like $20 to get in for the weekend, and of course with them you can, you know,
Mhm.
you can, you know, kind of
Oh, we pull
expand your world.
we pull the media card all the time.
Pull the media card.
Yeah, we do that.
The more media, and trust me, Champ Cart loves media. I mean, I'm gonna tell you that, you know. So, and they do a really good job of. If you've ever watched him call a race, he's really good.
Yeah. But we have to do that. We're going to try to come up there and see how things go.
Mhm.
We'll even drag Adam with us. You know.
Sign me up, man.
It's hard to get him out.
I know.
Racing I can do.
Racing, yeah.
The more weather.
But actually, we'll do more walk. You'll do a lot of walking. Road courses do
Yeah.
require
Yeah.
more walking.
Yep.
So we.
And maybe he could end up on the mic. I mean, it's famous for that.
Never say never.
What's going on, man? Full throttle media. That's a, you know,
What's up, man?
got a
Busy guy this year.
busy young
We're gonna
man.
miss you this year, Denton.
Yeah, man. I'm happy for you, man.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. We want to appreciate everybody for being with us. John being here with
Shout
us.
out the concert. Is it tomorrow night? You
Oh,
going?
yeah.
Water Street.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tomorrow night, the concert over at Yorktown Pub,
Water Street Grill.
Water Street Grill.
Buck Roos and Tim Brown.
That's right.
5:30.
You going?
I'm going.
I'll be there.
I'm going.
Yep.
My wife's going too.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over there and do that. You're not going.
Why not?
You gotta be 21.
Oh, got an ID?
So anyway, so what about Adam's ankle monitor?
Hey, we can't bring that up. Yes, come on out to Water Street tomorrow. Come see Buck and Tim Brown. That's the business. Nobody's getting in trouble tomorrow.
It's only Wednesday.
Yeah, it's
How much trouble can you
we're
get?
only halfway through the week.
Mason Dunn, I knew it was too much good to be true. I hadn't heard nothing from you all right. And all of a sudden, here he is.
Plenty of parking for Jack to show off his skill.
Full throttle media. Danton's going to be there. Christy Wyatt's going to be there.
Cool. It's gonna be a packed house.
We'll have a lot of fun out there tomorrow night.
We'll face,
I might have to try to come
we'll
out.
FaceTime Scott. We'll have to call him. Sit out, man.
So yeah, we'll have to do that. Mason, you don't have to come. But anyway, all right, that's our show for tonight. Thanks to John. Thanks to Wayne White. Thanks to Brian Blevins and Kyle LOCKROW. And next time we're going to get KRES VANDYKE on here because I know he wanted to be on here tonight with Brian. But we'll get him on here next time. So anyway, all right, we'll see you all again next week. Please like and share our show, and we'll talk to you later.
Hey, guys.